Today, February 26th, is a day in history. Three historical events that shocked the world have happened. On this day, the ultimate counterattack of the Napoleonic dynasty kicked off. On the same day, the Happy Valley Racecourse in Hong Kong became a living hell. On the same day, the World Trade Center in New York was attacked by terrorists. Let's go back in time together. Let's experience these three thrilling historical moments firsthand. In 1815, France was in the shadow of defeat. After the Battle of Waterloo, Napoleon was exiled to Elba. This small island off the coast of Italy is scenic, but for the emperor who once conquered Europe, it was a prison. Napoleon, who was deposed at the time, was not completely out of power. On this small island, he still has supreme power. The islanders called him the king. He even built up a small army for military training. But what he longed for most, still the French throne that was taken away. Meanwhile, the domestic situation in France is tense. After the restoration of Louis XVIII, the aristocracy is in power, and people's lives are miserable. There was anger against the Bourbons. This gave Napoleon a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. If he could return to France, he might still win back the kingdom. On the night of February 26, 1815, Napoleon quietly boarded a small boat, leaving Elba in secret with 1,100 loyal soldiers. After a 5-day voyage, it successfully landed in southern France on March 1st. The French Emperor Louis XVIII sent troops to stop Napoleon, but Napoleon went to the army alone and shouted, "Soldiers, are you willing to shoot your emperor?" The soldiers hesitated for a moment, then shouted, "Long live the emperor!" Then all defected. And just like that, the same thing keeps happening along the way. Napoleon retook France without a bloodbath. On March 20th, he triumphantly entered Paris and regained the throne. However, despite his successful restoration, the European powers would never give him another chance. After 100 days, he ushered in the final defeat of Waterloo, permanently exiled to the Atlantic island of St. Helena, can never go back. This is truly the most significant event in the history of the world, a dramatic political restoration. It also became the final glory of Napoleon's legend. Come to Hong Kong in 1918, in the 20th century. Horse racing is an extremely popular pastime. On February 26th, Happy Valley Racecourse welcomed an important event. Thousands of spectators gathered in the stands, excited to place bets and watch the game. However, no one thought this lively arena will turn into a purgatory in a few hours. It is said that around 3 p.m. that day, vendors cooked on a charcoal stove in makeshift bamboo huts. A gust of wind blew and sparks landed on the dry bamboo frame. The flames instantly started to burn the entire booth. Due to the unusually dry weather at that time, the stands were made of wood. The fire spread rapidly. The audience was initially unaware of the danger, but a few minutes later, the entire grandstand was engulfed in flames. The panicked crowd fled desperately for the exit, but with too few exits, many people were squeezed to death or trampled. Some people even jumped off the stands in order to escape, causing serious injuries. In this tragedy, more than 600 people lost their lives. This was also one of the deadliest fires in Hong Kong's history. Since then, the Hong Kong government has also strengthened fire regulations and the management of safety in public places. Today's Happy Valley Racecourse has long been modernized. The safety measures are also very sound, but the memory of this fire, it remains a sore point in Hong Kong's history. Every disaster in history is a warning to human society. I hope we will remember history so that such tragedies will not be repeated. Let's go further back to the United States on February 26, 1993. The world's economic powerhouse at that time, the World Trade Center in New York. The explosion did not directly destroy the building, but it became a dark omen of the future 9/11 terrorist attacks. At 12:17 that afternoon, terrorists took a truck loaded with 680 kilograms of explosives. drive into the underground parking lot of the World Trade Center. Their plan is, by detonating explosives, the North Tower collapses and crashes into the South Tower. Destroy the entire World Trade Center. All I heard was a loud bang and the ground shook violently. A huge fireball erupted from the underground garage. The explosion ripped through 5 floors, causing the ceiling to collapse. Smoke filled the entire North Tower building. Thousands of people were trapped until a large number of firefighters arrived at the scene. It took hours to rescue everyone. In this terrorist attack, a total of 6 people were killed and more than 1,000 were injured, although the building did not collapse in the end. But it kept New York in fear for a long time. According to a months-long investigation, it was finally confirmed that the mastermind was an Islamic extremist group. Their goal is to destroy Western symbols. From then on, the U.S. government began to strengthen its counterterrorism policy. And that didn't stop 9/11's 8 years later. After the explosion, it was also destroyed by everyone, thought to be a dark omen of the 9/11 terrorist attacks. History will not be forgotten, and every day is worth remembering. History is a mirror that reminds everyone, don't repeat human stupidity. If you like these stories, don't forget to like and subscribe. Click on the little bell. Let's see you next time.